But I do have a question for you. Who, like a movie like that, who is that movie for?
You and me.
Right. Because people will be like, oh, it's for the kids. Not really. It's for people like me.
No,
it my kids, like
it has
my
a lot
5-year-old.
Of adult undertones,
right. And my 5-year-old understands that she's going to the movies. My 5-year-old likes the experience of the movies, could care less about the content of the movie. She's been to like 2 movies in her entire life. She's seen Moana 2 and Zootopia 2. She doesn't care what's on the screen. She likes being at a movie theater. She likes a 100-foot screen. Right? That's for me. That movie's for Dad.
But that's the part they're doing good, is because they knew you just bring your kids here to do something for Thanksgiving break.
Exactly right. That's what Pixar.
It needs to be
that's
good
what Pixar
for you.
got right.
If you don't like it, then you're gonna go tell all your friends with kids that it's all right.
100%. That's what Pixar got right. Was they made kids movies, quote unquote, for adults, for
adults.
parents.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Or DreamWorks, all those movies, Shrek, all of those movies are for adults. All the ones I see,
I'm like, oh wow, I'm emotional. This might. I don't know if the kids is really getting it, but
Despicable Me. Despicable Me was made for me.
Yeah, like
100%.
I don't think they're making stuff for kids anymore. I think they're only making it for me.
Yeah, of course, because we're the ones that's got to bring them there, right? I mean, it's a great business case of like who is bringing the little kids to the movies, who's spending all the money.
I went to
the adults.
The Little Mermaid movie with my my little cousin Gerard's daughter.
Yeah.
And she did not care for it. She was too young. I was so mad.
Right.
She was like making noise. She was talking. I told him, if you don't get her out of here, I'm trying to watch the movie.
I don't care. Not a little bit. That's all for us, right?
All for us. Okay, I guess I will see it, but it doesn't seem right. They're having this big blowout.
It's a good movie. And look, think about the weekend. You got all this family in town, trying to find something to do. You done already watched the Macy's parade. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do all day? You do that. You got family stuff. You go to the movies. You come back. You eat.
I don't get it.
Right? Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, right? If you have family from out of town, you got people at your house.
I think they're money laundering.
While.
I don't know how. I can't prove it.
I think they also made it pretty cheaply, though, too. The budget was pretty small.
Something don't make sense. When something's too good to be true, then it's probably not true.
It could just be a good movie. It's good. Struck the right notes. A lot of famous actors.
If we do the intro right here, you think Jay can put it at the front of this?
I say we just leave it in.
You think I feel like he's going to cut it until we do the...
Nah. Put the intro in here.
Okay.
Piece it together.
Welcome to Envision Radio for United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise and News Radio 98.9 and 1070 AM WINA, and brought to you by the Jefferson School Foundation with Marki and Price, coming to you right here in downtown Charlottesville. No guest today, but we're going to give you a little bit of a holiday bazaar for our holiday special, as we said.
Bizarre, B-A-Z, not B-I-Z.
Yeah, this is a holiday very bizarre.
Bizarre.
But we're here. We haven't been here in a long time. We took a little break.
What happened? I was gone.
Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Thanks.
It's just busy time of year.
Yeah, and then don't get too comfortable because I got a couple more breaks coming up.
Yeah. You're a big traveler. So what are you doing for so you're doing this New York thing. What are you doing for the holiday? You staying around here? Or
I stick around. I go to my dad's family's place and my mom's family's place. Both of those are in the Albemarle, Charlottesville area. Just a good time to eat, sleep, and not be working.
Yeah, there you go. How long are y'all off?
We have like a 4-day flexible holiday schedule, so I don't even know. But it's like 3 days the week of Christmas and 3 days the week of New Year's.
Right. What day is Christmas on this year?
Is it a Thursday?
Is it a Thursday? It's awkward when it's in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday. That's right. Yep.
What are you doing?
Nothing. We'll be here. The family comes to us because we're the ones with the youths. So people come and go, and they come and hang out. It's
Do you have
lovely.
a lot of people come or no?
Yeah, it's sort of like an open house kind of vibe.
People come and leave.
Yeah, grandparents.
They're never there at the same time.
A lot of people are here. So, they come and they go home and they come back with food and they come home. Sometimes we send the kids out with them. go to someone else's house. It's great. And, most of our folks are local and folks will come out of town for a day or two or whatever. But
most of our people are local too. I mean, I would say 99.999% of them are local. I can't think of nobody coming out of town.
Really?
No, I don't think anybody driving more than 30 minutes.
Oh, no.
Orange is probably the furthest.
Right.
To Albemarle, Charlottesville.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to New York.
What are you going to
see? Let's see, Chicago.
Oh.
Really excited to see Alex Newell. I wanted to see Alex from Glee, if anybody doesn't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to see them in Shucked 3 or 4 years ago. Ended up having to see it in Richmond with the tour, but the tour was great.
Okay.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see Alex Newell, and Alex Newell is now playing Big Mama Morton in Chicago. And then I'm doing Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams is in it, but she was out a couple weeks ago. she better be back to work, if you ask me, or I'm going to be very upset because, I would like to see one of the Destiny's Childs.
Sure.
That's the 2 shows we're seeing, but some festivals, some markets, maybe Times Square. And then I have my brother's wedding. I'm traveling for 2 weeks to Florida in January for his wedding because we made it a vacation, which I think if you're going to do a destination wedding, I'm gonna be there for y'all wedding, but I'm gonna be there for my vacation as well.
How early are you going?
A week and a half. So I think we'll be there for 10 days.
I'm going a week and a half early.
10 days we'll be there. We'll be there a week early. We're going on the 12th. Not the 12th. Yeah, we leave the 12th and we come back the 19th.
That's incredible.
It's the best, actually. I'm like.
Did I tell you that my cousin was Mama Morton in Chicago on Broadway?
On Broadway? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said you were into Broadway.
I'm very into Broadway.
But I didn't know it was because you had maybe. Were they in another thing too? You were
she was in Rent.
Yes, I think you had mentioned this. Mm-hmm. This is crazy.
Yeah,
you have some really deep connections. This is.
I have a very, very bizarrely. One side of my family is incredibly artistic. My aunt is the principal violist in the New York Philharmonic.
No.
Yep.
and then
it's her stepdaughter is on Broadway.
She was in Rent, and then she was in.
And Rent, and she was Mama Morton in Chicago.
How long ago?
A year and a half ago, probably 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's been in Dear Evan Hansen. She's done.
Oh.
She's done real stuff. And then her sister is a graduate. Her sister went to Juilliard, and the other sister went to Berklee School of Music. Very artsy New York-y folks.
What
happened to you? That's why I did the sports thing. Because what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
Right. These are all my older cousins, right? And so I'm watching them go to NYU and go to the Tisch School and all that kind of stuff. I can't be doing all that.
All I can imagine is your older cousin being on Broadway and seeing you play some football and she's like, what?
So it's funny to think about. Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely right. It's funny to we have all these old home videos of us growing up and her being. I mean, she's incredibly talented but has been certainly the main character her whole life, right? Yes. She's immensely talented though, and so in that show she plays trumpet, she sings, but it's been funny because that's a very it's a small window. So to see that her grow up and be a performer, but then actually be in real stuff, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I love Broadway as well, but I've only been to I go to the shows in Richmond, but on Broadway I've only been to the one.
Okay.
We saw Wicked 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, and that's why. But that's the only reason I wanted to go back. Because we only saw one last time, and I was like, yo, if we go to New York, I'm trying to see 4. I'm trying to see one every day we're there, but we're only doing 2. But,
yeah.
It's
a whole other stuff to do, though.
I can go to another. Or also going by trains, it's going to cut half your day.
Right. Yeah, that's right. But what's the best show you've seen?
In general?
Yeah.
Seen on stage, Shucked was so very good.
Really?
It's one of those things where it's okay, this is fairly new, so you don't want to hype it too much.
Okay.
But it's one of those things I'm if everybody sees it, then there's no way it can leave. It's it was just super corny and clever. Corny.
Wow.
That's exactly. Wow. If you've seen it, that's exactly what they do.
Humor?
They do the.
Okay.
Did you know there was it's I was looking it up the other day, or not the other day, but when I saw it, there's 470 corn jokes.
Is that right? That's a lot.
I'm how are you making 450 corn jokes?
Yeah.
But they did it.
Okay.
There's a corn joke every minute.
That's interesting.
But Shuck was really good. Some Like It Hot was really good.
Yeah, okay.
Let me think. Those are really good. I thought Wicked was really good when I saw it on Broadway. There's ones that I thought were weird. There's one kid that I think I mentioned, Kimberly Akimbo, was very odd.
Okay.
But, good enough to win 5 Tonys.
Wow.
But yeah, I think those are my favorite. What's your favorite?
I like 42nd Street.
Okay.
Guys and Dolls, I really like. I really like the music of Guys and Dolls.
I like,
that whole sort of Nathan Detroit kind of old school gambly kind of thing. Damn Yankees, I liked. And then, Wicked's sort of hard to beat theatrically.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those things. I mean, it's one of those things. I think I remember when that came out, and you're just thinking say what you will about sort of the intricacies of the story. It's just such a good idea.
It's a good idea.
It's just such a clever idea to be there's all of these stories and all of these fairy tales. Why did it take so long for anyone to write the villain's point of view, right?
Yeah, and then they got people do it. There's a whole book series about the villain's point of view.
There's children's books about the big bad wolf and I was actually trying to help the pigs and
actually they called me to fix the roof.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I think I was always enamored by that it's just such a great premise. You know, that there was this whole other side of the story.
I didn't know we could hear from villains.
That's right. I was right. I think that was very cool. And then obviously anybody that's seen Defying Gravity live is just kind of like, well, that is one of the single greatest things for me you can see in person.
Yeah,
right?
it's one of the only. I think there's 5 musicals that have reached like 1 billion sales. I think that Hamilton just reached the 1 billion sales mark last week or something. Yeah. There's only 4. It's like Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, Wicked, and there's something else that have reached that 1 billion mark because they've been on Broadway so long, I guess. So obviously they're at the top. I've never seen Phantom of the Opera. I don't even know what it's about.
I've seen it. It's I've seen it. That is in like a Les Mis category for me, where like I think if you are attracted to the technicalities of sort of acting and singing and that kind of thing, you really like that.
Is it opera? Are they singing opera?
It's not operatic in its entirety, but there's sort of that. It has that kind of vibe to it. You know, I think it's good. Chicago's a good show too, though. You know, I like Chicago.
I was supposed to go see Chicago in Richmond, but something came up that.
At what, your Altria Theater season pass?
My Altria season pass stamped and processed. I actually missed it. So I was like, okay, well, great. I'll just go on Broadway then.
Oh, yeah, as one does.
Yeah.
I'll just go see it on Broadway. By the way, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WNA. Price and Marki here with just the smorgasbord of like, you know, whatever's going on. We got no guests today. It's just us. Hope you guys are enjoying the dip into some cooler weather.
It is low tire pressure weather, as I mentioned.
You were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, no, but it went away, just like I told y'all it would. It went away for about a week when it was like that 50, 60, and then this week it came back on, and it's still on right now. But now I feel like I probably do need to get some air.
You should probably just get some air. Just buy a tire compressor.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a girl who don't know nothing about cars.
Yeah, but you just buy a tire compressor.
What is a tire compressor?
An air compressor. You can just pump your own tires up.
I don't know how to pump the tire.
You put it on the thing and hit the button.
This is what I'm saying.
Listen, the PSIs listed on the inside of your driver's side door. It'll tell you the PSI you need of all your tires. I would assume it's 33.
Price going to go outside. He about to do it right now when we get to the studio.
If we get this is about to be like an NPR episode. We're about to walk out with the mics and demonstrate.
But it's one of those things that you're like, because you've never really done it.
Sure.
You're like, oh, well, I'm scared to do it because I ain't never done it. But I've passed by thousands of gas stations, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it today.
Did I ever say how I learned to change a tire?
No.
I blew a tire at like 11:30 and I'd missed my curfew, and my dad told me now's a good time to learn.
No.
That's how I learned to change tires.
So you had a spare in the trunk, and you just workshopped it?
He had showed me how to do it. I'd never done it without him, though. So I think I was like 16 or 17 or something like that. And it was late, and he was like, well, now's a good time to figure it out there, guy.
No, my family got AAA.
That's
I've actually been in a situation when I was in college. I drove through a puddle. You know how you're not supposed to drive through water you don't know the depth of? Well, I didn't know that. And it's like sunk the engine. And then I was like standing in the rain at UVA at that intersection where the tennis courts are. It used to get so bad. And she said, okay, we'll call AAA. I said, okay. And they came down and they got me. I don't know what to say. I can't change no tire. I can't deflood no engine. Price don't want to. My car didn't start a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we left the studio a year ago, and when I went to my car didn't start. I said, dang. I had to knock on Price's window and say, you know how to jump a car? And he had those cables, y'all, you can do with a little battery. I don't even know. I got one now, too.
You got one. You said you got one.
I had it in the trunk.
Yeah, it works really well.
No, I haven't tried it once. I've only had to
It's better to need it and have it and not need it.
But now I got to go get a tire compressor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, shout out to whatever those is, self-jumping mechanism. Maybe we can get another sponsorship.
Yes.
Right? Jump my car. All right, let's figure out what's been going on. All right, so we're almost to the end of the year. What has been...
It's our Envision Wrapped.
Yeah.
We just stole Spotify's idea.
That's exactly right. They stole our idea. What has been one of your favorite moments from this year?
Favorite moment from this year? Let's see. I'm going to say Day of Caring itself. Not the planning. None of the planning.
Shameless plug from you.
Yeah.
Shameless.
No, literally. I was telling somebody that for some reason, 4 years of doing Day of Caring, and this was, for me, the most emotional Day of Caring I have ever had.
Really? Why?
I think it was, I've done it for a long time, or it seems like a long time, but I've always done it by myself. The interns also obviously included, but like, no one literally, everybody would just be like, check in. Day of caring planning going good? And I'm like, yeah, sure. But this year it was a lot of different people. We had an inaugural host committee who participated in the planning and logistics of the day and like managing more people, more voices, more opinions. And so it was super, hard to like manage, all those opinions and all those moving parts that in the past I literally just made the decision. What color the shirt's gonna be? Blue.
Right.
And
right.
What is the forms gonna look like? Like I say, what is the survey gonna look like? The way I want it to.
Yeah.
And so having all this feedback pour in when that's never been, how I've done it, it was super cool. I learned a lot from a lot of people during that process. But so the culmination of, all of that planning with other people, getting to the day felt like a huge finish line because it was like just a different type of beast. It was our United Way was trying to like scale, and we're trying to make it bigger and better every year. And this is one of the biggest in a decade.
Right.
And so going out there and doing all the work, and then I got to do a lot of site visits and like just seeing the people having a good time after like hours and hours of stress and hours of can't sleep at night because I don't know how things are gonna go.
Sure. Nice when a plan comes together.
Yeah, no, I was like, actually, I am so grateful that I made it to the day itself, and so the day, not the planning, was really a highlight for me and like getting emotional. I don't get emotional often at work unless something crazy is happening. So I'm not ever getting super emotional at work. And I think people who think extroverts are always emotional think that's funny, but like,
you extroverts.
I was like, wanted like tears, like wow, like I did this, I made it, didn't know if I could make it, and I did it, and people are happy, and there's, it was just. If it never happens again, I was gonna be so grateful that it happens.
I think you got year 5 on the horizon. Better start planning now.
I know. People already called. I'm like, I don't know, girl. Don't.
Did they actually?
Yeah, people were like, so when is the next one? I'm like, girl, I'm gonna have to call you back.
That's crazy.
They was like, we want to put it on our calendar.
That's nuts.
I said, you're gonna have to take some time, wait till the new year get here, and then we'll just start thinking about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What about you? Highlight of the
year? Man, I think that it's been an interesting year. I think a lot of our little hosting spree I think was really funny. And I think I enjoyed that of all those events, and we're hosting this and that and the third, and that was just a really interesting.
I had forgotten. I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember what happened yesterday. So 6 months ago, it's so hard.
That was a kind of interesting, hilarious, sort of hilarious adventure, and thankful to Kim and Tara and all those folks. I think a lot of the work that we've published has been really special to me because we work really hard on it, right? Published on all this work about the economics of education, and then publishing work about the community schools, and I mean, I think digging into some sort of, and you've known me for a long time, I think sort of the physical manifestation of like, let's attack the big problems, and try and figure out how we take bigger bites out of this thing and have a point of view that might be controversial, but that's well researched and at least something that's worth conversing about, has been sort of an interesting journey through the year, and some of the writing and some of the thinking and things like that, I think have been, in retrospect, hopefully net positive. I think that the environment we're trying to create is one that's sort of led by, sort of well-researched curiosity, and not to say that we have all of the answers, but we have some ideas, but we'll certainly ask the right questions, and building that environment and being confident that we're trying to move things in the right direction has been a little trepidatious at times, but ultimately I think something that we're very proud of coming towards the end of a year where you get a little break to kind of reflect on all the things that are out in the big wide world. Do you have a research? Does somebody on your team do research, or are you doing research? You're looking at them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we do what we do is we tackle a bunch of incredibly smart people all across the city, right? And that's UVA faculty, it's UVA students, it's other nonprofits and partners and interns and all kind of stuff. I think that they were doing a survey, right? You had some interns doing a survey. We had an entire section of UVA students do an entire research project. I don't know why I thought it was like 2 people. Yeah, we did. We also had. We have a really cool internship that we built with a UVA faculty member that's been grant funded, so we're able to have paid interns that do a lot of data work for us. But we had this much bigger project about the economics of education and thinking about how we fund public schools and thinking about the efficiency of the money that goes into the schools versus into the community. And again, I feel very lucky. We get to lean on the intellect of some incredibly bright students. We get to lean on, it's crazy when you have an idea and you go to UVA faculty members who are doing 1,000 things and they agree to do it. Right. And they agree to, you know how it's funny. I remember I wrote the draft of this report and I sent it and people sent it back to me. And people always, when they edit stuff, I think they always feel the need to apologize if they have a lot of edits. Right. Well, it was pretty good, but it did it.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because for me, I immediately go to, well, you took the time to read it and you read it carefully and you read it carefully enough to have thoughts on it.
Why do I always, when I'm giving people feedback, that was so good. And then... That was so good. That was great. I think I texted Miranda all the. That was great. Also,
yeah.
Here are a couple of things I would. But these are just my. I'm one of those persons I don't want. If I'm giving you my opinion, I want you to know I don't want to mess nothing up. So, but that's on you. If you change it, actually, that was your idea.
Yeah. I don't want. In case this goes south. No. I want plausible deniability.
No.
All of the time.
Or whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's always I am. This is great, but if you, this is what I was thinking about in the context of
I think that's really interesting because I look at it and go, you took the time to read it. You took the time to read it thoroughly. You took the time to edit it. It's a 28, 30-page document, and you read it.
I've grown into such a critic. I've become a professional. At first, I was like, I think I mentioned this. Everything just looked great.
Yeah.
You don't have an eye for editing. I didn't have an eye for editing. I was just like,
what's it supposed to look like? Yeah.
Good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's nice?
Mm-hmm.
And then, having Caroline, my direct supervisor, teach me how to edit. I would send her stuff. She'd be like, oh, this is good. Here's some suggestions. And I was like, I do that. I have a really good eye for editing and critiquing now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, any idea or suggestion, I got them right there.
Yeah.
If you don't got to take it for sure, but
yeah, right.
I love critiquing things. I think I was born to be a critic.
Is that right?
That's what Yes, I want to look movies.
Sure.
I have a letterbox for God's sakes.
Okay.
You can't follow me because I just now saw that if I get famous, people will judge my letterbox.
You get critiqued on your critiques.
Yes.
It's a very meta issue.
Yeah. Ayo Adibre used to have a letterbox, and then she got famous, and then people were like screenshotting what she used to say about movies as a regular person.
Right.
And she's like jabbing some of these movies by these influential movie makers, and people were like, and she was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. She deleted it, and so I was like, I can't get famous now because I love my letterback critiques, and I'm actually very crazy. I'm writing critiques that are like, that was fun, but that's giving witches realness. Like I'm just, and it's real from thought. It's like train of thought. So but I like seeing something just to be like, I wonder if that could been better.
Interesting.
Yeah, just now saw Frankenstein, the Del Toro version. I thought it was super good. I was like, this is a beautifully shot film. I really loved his rendition. And I went on Letterboxd and said that and some other stuff.
And some other stuff. By the way, if you're just jumping in, this is the Envision Radio Holiday Extravaganza from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Big thanks to our sponsor, to our friend, Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org, and our new hopeful sponsor, whoever those jumper cable people are.
We're going to have 20 sponsors.
We're going to get a lot of sponsors. I want a lot of spots on this thing. We got to fill the airtime. We'll get ad space. We'll do the whole thing. We still need show notes. We have not yet figured out the show notes.
That's one of those goals for the new year.
All right,
I need me an intern.
Yeah, okay. What is that your goal for the new year, to get an intern?
Get an intern to do the show notes. Would they be doing it retroactive? Like they go back to the first episode and do notes, or like?
There's 190 some odd episodes.
There's almost 200. We'll be celebrating our 200th soon.
That's crazy. What are we going to do for that? We need to do something for that.
We should do something big. I was thinking President Obama comes in.
I like that idea. He's got some free time.
We'll take the more famous Obama. We'll take Michelle.
Fine. I like that idea even better. Yeah.
We need somebody.
Michelle Obama was just on a podcast with like Cat Williams.
Yes, it's weird. People are actually take the mics out of the communities.
Tear up the podcast equipment.
Honestly, why are these? It's like actors on actors. Why are you? We get it. You're real people. You're both real people.
It is.
I like it because it's kind of weird having two different types of people, but it's like.
But it's only weird if they're not weird about it. But they were weird.
Do we need podcasts? Am I driving us out of business by saying that? Like,
listen. I say this all the time. I'm always surprised that anybody cares what I have to say. And so maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
It's not what
Maybe this is for me. I'm fine
all
with that.
All
I
the
enjoy
fans
it.
at the studio window right now with their signs, go.
Yeah. You guys got jobs. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
It was just little old us.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, new year. What do you hope to accomplish in the new year?
I have no idea. I'm doing this running joke about the awards that I've gotten recently that I'm trying to get an EGOT.
Yes. Right.
So
how close are we?
Eclipse.
Yes.
One to watch.
Okay.
Go.
So you got a G and a T?
Yes, I need a G and a T. I got a volunteer award earlier in the year, but that's a V. So I don't know how to spin that one.
Okay.
Oh, Orange. It was for the Club of Orange, the Boys and Girls Club Advisory. Maybe
that's
Orange.
2 O's.
Oh, dang. I don't know. I need a G and a T. I need to figure out my Grammy and my Tony.
Yeah.
Just for fun. Like I might make up an award and give it to myself. I have the power. I don't know if anybody knows this. I run a couple of awards.
You start to get a suspicious caring for community award. Like,
honestly, I'm gonna change it to something.
It's got to be right. Yeah.
I have the power to change the name of the
Top
award.
volunteer. Oh, I did it, man.
Yes, I need to figure out just for saying that I got an EGOT, because I'm gonna just put. I'm not even say what the letters mean. I'm just gonna go on my LinkedIn and say I have an EGOT.
Yeah, you've been cleaning up this award season. What is going on? What's the deal?
Look, I have actually no idea. I'm the same person I was when I
didn't have publicly petition for a raise. This is called leverage.
Not on the air.
Right? Leverage. Come on.
They're gonna pull the episode.
If you're gonna...
I have no idea. I feel like this. I'm more of a critic, but more of a loudmouth probably. But I don't know. I feel like I'm the same person who didn't have the awards, but grateful for every opportunity to be in front of a large crowd of people and say how thankful I am to them for giving me the opportunity to be up there.
We were talking about this outside, but what do we think about that? What do you think about that? Right?
About what?
About just the way that we recognize stuff and people. And it doesn't mean that people aren't deserving. It certainly doesn't mean you're not deserving. We've worked together for the better part of 10 years now.
Right.
But what do you think? What do you think about that?
I think that I have been the person giving someone an award.
Sure.
And that person felt grateful.
Okay.
And I could feel how grateful they were, and so that made it worth it to me.
Okay.
There's people are like, me? Like, you really want to give me this award? And I'm like, the community wants you to have, and so I feel special about giving the awards, giving any type of award, a community-based voting thing. I think when you get an award, it's kind of weird because you're like, oh, you're trying to pinpoint the thing you did so special,
right,
to get this thing. But then I try to take a step back. I'm like, it's not that pinpointed thing. Maybe you were at the right place at the right time, and probably 6 other people were at the wrong place at the right time, or whatever the saying is. And it could have just as easily been them. And so I don't take that for granted, because I know that. And shout out to the Chamber, shout out to Orange County Historical Society, African American Historical Society for seeing the work that I'm doing. I think it does say to me that I'm heading in the right direction.
Okay.
And so I think it gives me confidence to take more risk, be more creative. I think that's the thing it's doing for me, is that it put a battery in my back and says, okay, well then I guess I'm doing something right. And next week I'm going to have an even crazier idea, hopefully. And because I have that award on my back, people will believe it. People will buy in that Marki's trying to do the right thing.
So you're saying there's credibility in it.
Yeah, I'm hoping the next thing I put together, people are like, oh, well, she's not a crazy person.
Okay.
A crazy person couldn't have got that award, right?
they only give this award to thoughtful, sane people. Yeah.
Right, and so I was like, great, I can go to work and I'm gonna come up with an idea, because now I feel like those other ideas that I thought weren't maybe as big, I can take bigger risks. And so that's what I want to do. And I don't know if I mentioned to you, but we're doing, every year, United We does a little thing for MLK Days of Service. We've usually partnered with organizations in the past for environmental projects, but this year we're doing our own project. MLK Day, we're having a hygiene build kit project that I'm putting together, getting the supplies, getting the people, getting the benefactors together. And that was an idea that I came up with like a month ago. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we it also, you won't believe this, last 3 years it snowed it rained really bad for
Sure.
OK Days of Service.
Yeah.
And so people couldn't do the projects, right? And so I was like, oh, what if we just put something together that people can come out and do together?
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired of people calling me and telling me it's canceled because something was outside. I'd rather just know that they're going to be there where I put something together. And so super excited about that opportunity. But I think people are like, oh, cool, maybe Marki does have cool ideas and maybe we can listen to those cool ideas.
Do you think they didn't think that before?
I don't think I was giving ideas. I mean, I think I'm a critic, but I don't know if I was giving event-based, program-based ideas. And I think I'm in a position now that I want to do more. That I think I have ideas about everything. You should ask Caroline. I think I go to her every week. I'm like, this thing you've been doing for 10 years. I've been looking at the program, and I think it could be better. Yeah. And she's like, oh,
yeah, right.
Oh, Marki, that's somebody else's thing, right?
Yeah, and, right, sure.
But I want to be involved more strategically in the things that we do, and so it's
okay.
And I've said that, and so hoping to do more of that. That I want to. But we don't got to do things the way we've always done, and I said that in even my interview 5 or 6 years ago now. That tradition is a word that like I respect and I value, but I don't want us to be doing things the same way we've always done it because we've always done it that way, and we're forgetting what the real purpose is to get better, help more people, be more impactful, and if. Things can't be done the same way for our, maybe they can, but I think that we can be trying to make things bigger and better each year. And so all the things that I touch at the United Way, I want us to be thinking. One of my goals for this year was like every program you run, at the end of them, you need to be coming away with 3 things that can be better that you are going to make an improvement on. So, I'm doing that now, and I'm hoping that those improvements get bigger and better, and that they let me do them.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. By the way, Envision Radio Holiday Special, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM, WINA, Price, Marki, United Way of Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise. Big thanks to the Jefferson School Foundation.
What are you looking forward to with City of Promise? Is there anything in this past year or into the future that you're like, God, that's going to change things?
Man, I think what you said is really interesting and really important. I think this constant evolution and not being afraid of doing a thing wrong in pursuit of doing it right or doing it better. And I think this analysis paralysis is often something, particularly in what people would consider human services work, is something that, if we can't do this at scale, we won't do it. And I'm more of the mind of let's try it with 1 or 2 people and see if it works and then tweak it and expand it and figure out what we do. I think a new, slightly more, hopefully supportive legislative environment is an interesting space to work in. Mm-hmm. Our work is shifting a little younger to start to work with families of pre-K kids and think about, and again, I think a lot of our research is intended to become actionable. I want to think of myself as a person who is thoughtful, but not thoughtful at the expense of getting things done. And so I think out of the research that we've done, out of the reports we've produced, what comes of it, right? How do you operationalize that stuff? So how do you take what we know, which is your household income and your literacy rate are highly correlated? How do we take what we know that kids spend 80% of their time out of school, at home, in neighborhoods? How do we take what we know that the city schools have the second highest per pupil spend and the second lowest minority literacy rates in the state? We know these are things that we know. These are things that are proven with numbers and data. What do we do about that? And so thinking about earlier, more robust, more comprehensive intervention is really interesting for us, and thinking about what would it look like to link with the great work that you guys and Meredith are doing and think about what does that mean outside of those buildings, right? If her job and you guys' job is to provide access and quality, what happens when the kids go home? Where do they go home to? What does the support the parents have? How does that look as they matriculate through an early care system and through a public school system and on and on and on? Can we start earlier? Can we be smarter? So I constantly tinkering, I think, is a really important thing. I think so. And it's hard in an environment that you can be a little gun shy on that because, well, we raise money because we do this thing. We do this thing this way. And I think what we found is that it has to be important that we do it well, and we have to figure out who we're doing it for. And so if we're honest that we're doing it for the families, we're doing it for the kids, we're doing it for the community, I think we have to tinker with things that didn't work and be honest about, like, look, I shot that shot and it didn't work. That one didn't work. We're going to do the next one. I'm not going to linger on the thing that we didn't do well. We're going to learn from it. We're going to take the information. We're going to apply it in a way that makes some more sense future forward.
Executive directors and people like that have to be tinkerers. I think I'm not an executive director, but I think I'm a tinkerer. I'm like, how does this thing work? What if you put the nose on the head and the legs on the arms? Like, it's a Mr. Potato Head of things and whatever sticks. Yeah,
if there was a way to do it, someone smarter than me would have figured it out. Right. There's just not. If there was a way to solve these large scale, I mean, look, I think about this, and this is cynical, but did you read this report about the Michael and Susan Dell, and they gave away all this money, $6 billion. They're giving $250 to 25 million kids or all kind of stuff like that. Right. So we do all this sort of performative nonsense. We're like, let's be serious about that. Right. Honestly, like why?
Why?
For what? To say you gave away a bunch of money? You did. You picked the only inefficient way to give away $6 billion. That's crazy, right? But again, I think that there's this whole nature of like, that's the way it's been done for so long. Let's give a little bit of money to a lot of people so we can say we affected 25 million people. That's the way it has been done. Okay, but to your point, what if we didn't do it like that? The way that we think about, literacy and things like that is we go, these kids when they're 5, when they're 6, when they're 7, they're falling behind, they can't read. But what if they could? What if the absence of the problem is the solution? We know how to teach kids to read. We know the impact that your first 4 or 5 years have on your life, on your opportunity, on your educational outcomes. So what if we just didn't wait? Right? Like, can we do that? Can we think about a more aggressive, a more offensive posture? Instead of always being sort of in an intervention mindset, we have to fix a problem. What if the fix was the absence of the issue?
I love creative problem solving. Like, that is my peanut butter and jelly. I always tell people, I'm like, I hate a problem, but when we got a problem, move out my way. I'm gonna tie up my hair like the Baudelaires. I can't even think. What's her name?
The Baudelaires?
She's the oldest. Not Sonny. That's the youngest.
That's a heck of a reference.
I know. Now, Violet Baudelaire.
Violet. Yeah,
she ties up her. I grew up on that. So
did you really?
Yeah. So I read the books before the movies came out.
What is that? That's Series of Unfortunate Events.
Series of Unfortunate Events. I have every copy of all 13 of the books. I used to reread them multiple times.
Lemony Snicket?
Lemony Snicket, as his name is. Yeah. If you read all the undercover stuff, it's an alias. But
is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. It's an alias. But yes, I used to read the books, and every time they talk about Violet putting up her hair, because they'd be in all these situations, right? And she has to create an elevator that rides up a mountain or something. So then she put up her hair. So every time I'm like, God, I need to get into the weeds and figure this thing out. And every problem has a solution, in my opinion, even if it doesn't. So I'm always like, gosh, I can feel something isn't right. I need to figure this out. I literally am putting up my hair, and I'm like, that's a callback. I'm like, I love that. Like, figuring out something that's complex.
What's a problem you solved this year? Or are in the process of solving?
I think there are things that I'm trying to solve right now that, like, I'm still in the process of doing it. So, I'm trying to think. I think I do a lot of, like, database workarounds. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of report building. Right. And it's so cool because the thing about a report is that it'll spit out things that aren't right. You're like, I know that's not right. Yeah. So I do a lot of report building actually for our database at United Way, and it's kind of fun, knowing that there's an error, and like I guess it's kind of like coding, but it's super simple the way the system has it, or not simple, but fixing that doing those are super fun. Figuring out someone asks me about something specific in our database about something, and I'm like, I can build that. Yeah. I know I can build it. So I've done a lot of building for CRMs this last 6 months. Stressful sometimes, but I liked that I could play around and tinker with it. Anything I should probably just try to invent something. Get on Shark Tank or something.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah. I like solve, and I really like when people like come to me and like, I thought of everything. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, let me take a look. Yeah. And then I guess they hadn't thought of everything because I come up with something.
You found a thing? Yeah.
I feel like that Rebecca, my colleague, I love her. She always comes to me and was like, hey, can you help me with this thing? And that I'm working on. I'm like, let me see. like, yeah, I'm like a hacker. I'm a this. And she was like, no way. I was like, yeah, there you go. There's something right there. She's like, every time you come over here, you can fix a thing. You're fixing a thing. And I'm like, yeah. So I would say, like, I should have a new title. I should be like the fixer manager. I don't know.
Interesting. The fixer manager.
I never remember my title, so don't. I have people are probably like, you don't know your title. I have
you
to think about
don't know your title?
Okay. Engagement belong to me. I have to think. So the E is before the B. So I think your mind is. Okay. I think that's the number one thing. Is that the B? It's not alphabetical. So it's your mind is trying to say the B. Belonging and engagement. BE.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
BEM. But my mind, I try to teach it that it needs to say the E first. So it's like ugh.
Just change it. Put something else in your email signature.
I can make it whatever.
Yeah, just, it's all editable. Just
access to the website. I can actually.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm the most powerful person.
Look, you control the information. Do whatever you want.
Typing in stuff.
Do whatever.
We actually only have 2 employees.
Yeah, well, ones and zeros, baby. That's all it takes.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Yeah.
How big are y'all these days? How many people you got over there?
12.
Oh, great.
I think. Yeah.
Do you use volunteers?
Some. I think my view on volunteers is a little bit different insofar as we need continuity, we need consistency.
That makes sense.
Right, and we need, again, I think that there's a lot of good work happening, and it's certainly not to disparage any of anything that's going on, but I think largely the point of view and the culture of philanthropy is too transient for my liking. Right? I don't need you to come trim my hedges. Fine, but that's not for what? That's not what we're dealing with.
How do you keep people so that you have to sign on for a specific amount of time?
Yeah, so we built a program called Nurturing Neighborhood, which is we have volunteers that are each family has 6 or 7 volunteers assigned to them, and so what we've tried to do is democratize the time. So instead of saying, hey, Marki, you are in charge of fulfilling a whole wide swath of needs for this family or these potential families, which is a time commitment that you probably weren't ready for or prepared for. We say, no, there's a team of all 8 of you guys. Okay. So now you're really only in for an hour a week, and your job is on Monday, you take David to soccer practice, and on Tuesday, Gerard takes him to music lessons, and on Wednesday, right? But you have this extended family vibe, right? And so I was thinking about how I grew up, and I think how you grew up with aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas. If mom and dad couldn't tap in, someone could, but it didn't have to be the same person all the time.
Takes a village.
Right. So how do you rebuild that in a way that allows opportunities to come to fruition but doesn't overburden someone who either has another job, stays the same. And it's intended to stay the same in perpetuity. It just grows with the family, right?
I love that.
So, we have things like people have helped older kids get their driver's license or take them to driving lessons or take them to the bank to open a bank account or any, it's helped with access to sports and extracurriculars and other block and tackle type things that, mom or dad or whoever the caretakers couldn't tap in on. So it's that type of thing for us. I think the other thing always,
community, school.
And I think always for us, there is the content issue of tutoring, but I think also there is this theory that because you can read, you can teach kids to read. And we've fallen down on that, I think, in a couple different ways. And so I think it's important for us to help people understand it's not overly rigorous, but there's a little bit of training that goes with
teaching is hard.
Doing this. And teaching kids to read is difficult. And teaching kids to read, many of whom are already a little bit behind, is even harder. Right? So I think there's an emphasis for us on it just being done right and not being done sort of arbitrarily. Right? I think it's lovely that you can organize my bookshelf and it's sort of minorly helpful. But at the end of the day, that doesn't move us down the road too terribly far. So I think there's us trying to get out of the mode of, again, I think the seminal question that we always come back to in our office is, who are we doing this for? Right? Who is it for? If it's for them, the things we have to work for them. So you feeling good about, quote unquote, volunteering at City of Promise because you, whitewash the sidewalk, great. Didn't do anything for the people for whom we are ostensibly trying to support. And so we want to anchor ourselves in that. What it is a very simple but helpful guiding query of, does this align with that question? Does the thing that we are trying to do, does the thing we're positing, does whatever we're thinking on align with the question?
Do you ask yourself that a lot?
All the time. Right? And I think, and you know me, and I think people sometimes, I have to guard against things drifting into sort of a me thing. And so I think what's really helpful about being in the neighborhood is getting to talk to people.
Do you talk to people? Are you talking to? You always ask the other people, like, once you become that top person, you get away from the client-facing part. You
do. You have to get into it. And I don't do it as much as I would probably want to. And I constantly feel the push and pull of what my job asks me to do and how I think I should be doing it. And I think the hard part about any job, but a job like this, is that you get a lot of different inputs from a lot of different people. And a lot of people feel a lot of kind of ways about a lot of things. And so it can be difficult to parse the time in a way that feels both productive and authentic. And you have to sort of straddle that fence of not being aloof and not being distant, but also understanding that sometimes in pursuit of keeping the thing going, you have to be certain places, or you have to do certain things, or you have to, I think the staff does an incredible job of being very, very, very well connected, and I want the best thing I can do is support them in that and not try and supersede that, right? Not try and jump in. And again, to your point, if I'm asking the question, who am I doing this for? Me inserting myself into some of these instances so I feel better about my position in the enterprise is not net productive for the people who we're trying to help, right? And I have to be clear about that. I have to sometimes explain that like, hey, what I am doing, or the best use of my time, sometimes isn't here. Right. Sometimes it's in Richmond trying to meet with the governor's ed policy person. Sometimes it's on campus at UVA. That's just how that has to work. And I have to be okay with sort of the narrative around that. But it is important for me and all of us to be present, which is why I think it's the one thing.
Presence is so important.
The one thing that will never change about our business is that it will never leave the neighborhoods in which we work, right? And that is, I think, a part of what, at least on my watch, will always be. So if we need more space, we'll have to find it nearby. We'll have to find it nearby, which is a little bit of a conundrum as we've gotten bigger and as we've grown. I mean, we've doubled in size. It's great. These are all champagne problems, and we feel very well supported and very lucky to be, like you said, trying to contend with some intricate and complicated things. But it presents an issue of, we can't take an office space downtown, in my opinion, because it degrades really what we're all about, which is being there, which is being an anchor at the edge of the neighborhood to say, yeah, look, if you get stitched up, come on, come down. Being accessible is really a part of the secret of, I think, what a lot of what we're built on. And so even as we think about changing programmatically or flexing into pre-K work or thinking about more policy-focused stuff and trying to be a little louder about some of those things, none of the actual foundation of what this was built on can change for me. And so that's a little bit of it too, is managing growth is a thing. And managing it effectively to say, look, we want to maintain the soul of what we're doing, but
sometimes you get big.
There's just more of it. There's more, and you have to be prepared for that. And it's a gripe that, I think can upend some of these smaller to medium-sized, particularly grassroots nonprofits, because you lose, if you're not careful, right, some of the nucleus of it. The essence, I think that's a great way to put it. And you become something a little bit different, and you got to be careful about what evolution and what growth looks like. And I think it's all good and it's all kind of phases of life. And it's, but it is important to be able to communicate that and think about how it matches with the work. And does it answer that question? Are we still aligned with who we are supposed to be doing this for?
That's why I don't have to answer the big questions. I'm sitting over here and you sitting over there with
You said, everyone tells me the story about what Marki said in our interview was you wanted to run the show. Everyone, I keep hearing everyone.
The Envision Radio show?
No. You wanted to run the shop. Everyone keeps telling me the story.
And that's it's so funny. I think everybody, not everybody. Everybody, I like to be the best. As I mentioned, I'm always going to be the best at what I can do. And I think when you're young, the best is the top person. But I think I've learned that that's not always true.
Interesting.
I think I thought it then, but I don't think I have to be at the top to be the best.
Interesting.
So I think it's I grow.
Yeah.
I learn. I see. I hear. So I think that's always a funny story. We won't tell it here. People have heard it, but I think I'm glad that happened because it taught me a lot. I'm glad that I wanted to be the person to tell because it taught me everything. Everything I do. I'm thinking, gosh, I said that, and somebody got to hold me accountable.
Yeah,
to the things and the work that I do. So
sure,
who knows? Those questions that people ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah,
girl, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
You told just earlier you told me about something I forgot it was on my calendar. I didn't even know.
It was tonight.
Don't say that. And it was on my. I went and looked. It's on my calendar. I didn't even set it to email me day before.
You gotta set those alerts. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's probably because it came from my email. You know how you read your emails and put it on your calendar.
Yeah.
Because I registered, but. So I didn't set my own alerts. It probably has like 30 minutes before.
I'm sure it'll be 15 minutes before. Yeah.
When it get dark out here, y'all.
Yeah.
I cannot. When it get dark, I get to be at the house.
Gone.
It's too cold. If it should not be dark at 5:30.
Mm-hmm. 'Tis the season.
I know. You want me to come outside?
Yeah. Is your Christmas tree up yet?
Oh yes.
Do you go before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Before Thanksgiving?
Yes.
That's nuts.
It's nuts.
That's nuts.
It's nuts.
How early?
Maybe a week before Thanksgiving. My mom put it up.
That's early.
She's crazy.
That's wild.
Hope she don't listen.
Yeah. Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom. She's crazy.
That's early.
She loves Christmas.
Okay.
I'm not no real decorator, so it wasn't me.
No? What about all your plants? You don't put ornaments on all your various plants?
I like that it's decorated, but if my mom wasn't the person with the spirit that she has, who's like, I've always, when I was living in an apartment, when I was at UVA, she'd come up and bring a tree, a full tree. I had a full tree. And even when my first year, when I was in a dorm with a suite with other people, her and my aunt came up and put up a tree and decorated the whole place. And I had to be like, hey, girls, are y'all good with this? And they was like, yeah, it's so fun. If they had said no, I don't know what my mama would have done, to be quite honest. Probably I would have had some roommate fights.
Yeah.
But they said so every year even when I wasn't at home, my mother brought a tree to me.
Wow.
She has like maybe 6 trees. She has a lot of trees. She sends one to my brother in Northern Virginia. She keeps them. Then she takes them down. My sister was in an apartment a year ago. She bought her a tree and she put the tree up. And when Christmas was over, and not just the tree. Yeah. She's the type of person that does like the bath. So the bathroom, she installs a new shower curtain. The toilet has a snowman cover. The base of the toilet with the rug is the body of the snowman. The towels she turns to red or green. So she has a so each of us
she's got a big old bin of.
She bought it. She built I don't know where all this stuff was before. It used to be in the basement. But she has a shed.
The old she shed?
She has a she shed. And it's from top to bottom. So we all have like 2 totes because each of our places, our residence, has a specific 2 totes, and that has the tree, the ornaments, and the accoutrements. Yeah. So the bathroom is decorated. The kitchens are decorated. She changes out literally every single piece of media.
No way.
Every item is changed to a Christmas theme. I kid you not. So I've always had intense. So I like it when it's done, but I hate the process of
You wouldn't do it though.
No.
What about your siblings? Are they?
No.
So you guys are similarly like it's cool to have it, but we ain't doing it.
We grew up with a mother that literally had us carrying 10 bins.
Yeah.
At 6:00 for 2 weeks. Every night she's like, even now she's like, this is the first year that she got professional lights done. You get older and get a little money. Your kids get out the house. Now you got a little extra money. You can do whatever you want. She got professional lights on the house. Okay. And that wasn't enough. She went and bought some lights. She was like, can you help me put these lights on our bushes? She said, can you go out there and because if we can hand it around.
Is she going light show at any point?
It's giving light show. I'm not going to lie to you.
I think so.
Yeah, she'd be like, she loves compliments. So please, if y'all know my mom, Tawan, please give her a compliment on Facebook about her lights, y'all. It's on Carpenters. She loves it. It'll make her a whole month if you mention the lights.
That's how late does stuff stay up?
Probably second week of January.
Okay.
So past New Year's, past the first week, maybe into the second week.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
All right. Is she decorating for everything? Is there Easter stuff?
She has a tree for each holiday. It's crazy. People think I'm lying. No, she had a Halloween tree.
A tree?
It's hard to explain. It's a mannequin top.
Okay.
It has the top of a mannequin. Yeah. And the bottom is tree.
It's like something from Toy Story.
Yes. And and then she decorates it for each holiday.
Okay.
That stays up. It's been up all year. So
it just stays up. That's just like the storefront, and then just the dressings get changed out.
She had a July theme. She had an October Halloween theme. She had a fall theme. What else did she do? But she gets bows. ornaments that complement the season or holiday.
Amazing.
It's crazy. I think I have some. I might have Miranda put some pictures.
Show notes. Unbelievable. Wow,
y'all
that's
are big
intense.
decorators.
We are, I think, bang average decorators. The kids like it, you know.
They like doing it?
Yeah, they like
They're
doing
still
it. They're still young. My oldest, my daughter's very into Legos, so she built a bunch of Lego decorations. So they have these cool little kids. She built a snowman and a present and Santa and the whole thing. And so, it is sort of in the minimalist tradition, you know, a couple lights on the banisters, a tree, and all that kind of thing. And so there's the stockings, and the dog's got a stocking, and there's a whole thing. So it is. I think it's suits perfectly. It's not so much that anything's going to get broken. You know, it's not so much that things are going to get, you know, in the way, but it is appropriately festive, I would say. Right? Do y'all do a real tree?
No.
We did a real tree once.
We aren't pure enough for a real tree.
I tell you what, I love the idea.
It's like taking the Christ out of Christmas. We don't have a real tree.
Until, though, you got to take that thing out the house. You got the needles everywhere.
We've never had a real. We've always had a tree she took apart, put in a bin.
Sure.
And I don't so that's one of the things I don't understand. I'm not understanding why we doing real trees.
It's part of the experience, I guess.
I guess they're cheap. I'm assuming they're way cheaper than an artificial tree.
They can't be, because their artificial tree you only need to buy once every decade.
So that company needs to make money, so it has to be more expensive, because you're not coming back to buy another tree except for my mama.
Yeah, but it's not that expensive that it can't be more expensive than going to get a tree every single year. It's not like those
It does not make sense why y'all are putting these needles in your bugs and the trees in your house.
I think it's something about the experience, the aesthetic. We go freeze outside at some Christmas tree place to put this thing on top of the car to bring it in the house in the bin and the water, and then all the needles fall off. We got to sweep.
Oh, you have to put it in water?
It's a tree.
But it's cut.
Yeah, but it's got to survive for however long.
It's in a thing of water?
So in the little stand, you
put water in it. See, I didn't know none of this. This is more of a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
But you're doing it for the experience.
I think so. Yeah.
When you could just put plastic pins together,
totally.
See, that's one of the things I cannot understand.
You know how holidays are. It's a tradition. What did you say earlier?
But I said
we just do stuff because that's how we did it.
So have you grown up with a real tree your whole childhood?
We did real trees for a while, and then I think we got to the point where everyone was like, "Why are we doing this?" You know. And I think it's fun until, look, most of the things you do, particularly with young kids, you sort of have this delusion of grandeur that it's going to become some formational moment or whatever, and yada yada. Some of it's nice, some of it's nonsense. I think as your kids get older and demonstrate that they, have their own thoughts and feelings, or they didn't actually click with the thing you thought that they would click with, you're like, all right, I didn't even really like that either. I was trying to do this.
Doing a thing, yeah. Don't even like it.
I think, look, some of the stuff you do, you're like, this will be fun for all of us, but then it's really for the kids. So if the kids don't like it, you're like, why are we doing this? This is more work for us. We thought they would love it. They don't really care. So let's head on down to Target and figure this out.
But I guess there is something about going to pick out, it's not the same thing. It's like a different being. Like, this thing is alive.
You're a plant person?
Yeah, and you picked it, and it's a different thing every year. You're going to go out and look at these. You're going to go to a tree farm and be like, not this one is too stubby. Not this one is too narrow.
Correct. Sure.
You get it has a part of choosing is super important to people.
Sure.
I think making a choice on this is our family tree now. It's super cool, but then you have to throw it out. What do you throw it out?
You chuck it into the woods, or you hope to good Lord in heaven that whoever your garbage provider is will take it with them, or whatever.
Do you
set it on fire?
Chop it into pieces?
You can. Yeah.
You do the whole thing. You throw it.
We got really lucky that whoever did our trash would just take them.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
You can just throw them in the woods. You can set it on fire. You can do it wherever you want.
You put it on. That's a burn pile. But this ain't the country. We got a burn. We got a yard and a burn pile. Yeah. We got a burn pile that's been a stack of garbage that we burn every quarter for my whole life. Quarter. We do. My dad burns it.
Really?
It's it's so country.
That is country.
We have a burn pile.
The quarterly burn pile.
My mom don't like when it get too high. We throw everything on it. That's probably not even that's probably not even good for the environment.
Crazy. It can't be.
We throw stuff not like garbage that we have a trash place, but like things that can burn, we put it on the burn pile.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's I think that's a thing.
But it's fun. It's like a bonfire.
Yeah.
We have like a bonfire.
Yeah.
And it just...
Yeah. There you go. We had the kids roasting marshmallows the other day. That was fun.
That's fun.
Great.
How do you even end a holiday bazaar these days?
A
bazaar.
Let's do the last bazaar. What are you most thankful for this year?
I am most thankful for renewed friendships. I think a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, I had people that I'd known at UVA who came back to town, and I hadn't seen them in a long time, but we really took the time to like reconnect and like I think as an adult you have to be very intentional about friendships.
Totally.
It's very hard, actually. It's
a lot of work.
Hard. Good thing I started with a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But it is like I have learned to be way more intentional with my friendships and like showing up. I always say to myself, because I never want to go anywhere, it's like sometimes being a good friend is being inconvenienced.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out.
Sure.
And I'm always a person like, I'm not going to invite you more than 2 times or 3 times without you saying no. That's not how we need to be in community. So trying to be intentional and sometimes doing things you don't necessarily want to do, but I always end up having a great time. But like wanting to show my friend, like the friends that are returning to my life, leaving my life, that like I want to make sure that we're, in community and being there for each other in a way that we both feel it's beneficial and that we can handle as adults. So I'm really grateful for that. I think that's the thing I'm most proud of, that is that I reconnected a couple of friends.
That's really good.
Hadn't heard in a long time, but was really happy that happened. What about you?
Man, I mean, I think that the blessings are abundant. I think being in a town with really good orthopedic surgeons made it onto my radar this year.
Right.
So shout out to, Dr. Dacus, Dr. Gwathmey, and Eric Mangrum and all the folks, who put Humpty Dumpty back together. I think that is, no small feat. And it's been 7 months of relatively intricate and serious surgery and physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. So, truly, I think it's to have something like that happen and it not be a massive stressor is a really incredible stroke of luck, and so I don't discount that. And I think the trite answer, but as always, like watching my children grow up is obviously an incredible gift, and so them being happy and healthy and frustratingly chaotic in all the ways that they should be at 5 and 2.5 is it's been really fun. I was telling someone the other day that like I don't know if I'm good at it, but I really enjoy being dad, and so it's I think an exercise in trying to share 2 worlds that can be very different at times, and a world that can be very difficult and very contentious, and then being able to go home to 2 people who don't care any of that. They don't care what I wrote. They don't care what I published. They don't care who I got in an argument with. They don't care about any of that, right? Mm-hmm. They just want to hang out with dad. I think it's been helpful more than I thought it would be in my ability to do the job. And then so I think having them in particular is they're just like, whatever, man, I don't.
Parenthood sounds cute. I'm gonna give me one.
It is. It is. I think it's one of those things that it puts a lot of stuff into perspective. And I think doing the work that you're doing, that I'm doing, that sort of we're doing, and also having very little kids is an interesting kind of market research. My N of 2 study of like, is this like, what does this look like? How do we rebuild this from a different lens? How do we create the opportunities that we're able to provide for our kids, for other kids and other families, if we assume that they deserve them, which I do, right? I think that my kids look like all these other kids, right? Brown skin, curly hair, brown eyes. What's the difference? So how do we start to make some headway on that being a big question? But it is a really important grounding exercise, I think, for me, and something that I would say for everybody who's working really hard and kind of running headlong and fast at really complicated things is the opportunity to understand that someone said this. They were like, your kids will never, to a large degree, my kids will never understand the impact of sort of the research I published or the talks I gave or the whatever. They'll know that I was there or I wasn't. Right. And so I think it's important to understand that while the work is incredibly important and it's a town I grew up in and it's something that I know you and that I take very seriously, is like my stewardship responsibility to them has to match whatever that we're trying to do here in town. And if we can build those things at the same time, I think we can really make some good progress. So I think that's it's a weird experience. It's an admittedly very weird experience, but it's one that I'm, very thankful to have with good partners and colleagues. And, people like yourself, and I think this hilarious, whatever this show is become, I think has been
let us talk
incredible
about anything.
Truly though, I mean, how did that happen? And I think that's a thing too that I also don't take for granted. This
serendipity
hour a week I enjoy because it's again, I think it's a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the hallways. It's stuff that we talked about quietly for a long time, and someone was dumb enough to give us a hot mic to talk about it in public, and hopefully that means something to someone,
I think it does.
All right, you travel safe to the big city. Taking a train?
Train, $60. Amtrak sponsor.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
is it straight up, or do you stop at Union Station?
I don't know about the stops. I just know this takes 6 hours and it was $60.
It's not bad.
Look, you should have seen the planes.
You going from Charleston?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not bad. Yeah.
Wish me luck and safe travels.
Yeah. Big thanks to our Jefferson School Foundation, the proud owner of the Jefferson School City Center, where education, innovation, and community engagement come together to build a brighter future. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. Again, if you like what you hear, subscribe, share this with your friends on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you get your podcasts these days. And as we edge into this season of giving, consider making a contribution to City of Promise, to the United Way, to any of our other incredible local nonprofits. That's how we continue our community-based work. And, of course, keep the lights on in this here studio. We'll think about what we're doing next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll pop in here with someone.
Please do.
We'll see what
send
we'll
it, you know,
see what
you know
happens.
where to send the info to.
We'll figure it out. But that is the close of our second annual Holiday Bazaar. For Marki, for Price, you guys stay warm. One of us will see you next week.
Peace.